everyone. In this video, I'll be talking about Azure Openai Studio and how it can help you build and deploy AI models. This video will cover the following topic. First topic, what are the necessary components that must be needed to start using Azure Studio? Second topic, complete overview of Azure Openai Studio and what is it is how it works. We'll focus on this topic. Third topic, adjusting parameter. What is this parameter and how it can be adjusted to improve the performance of an OpenAI model in specific use case. Finally, one quick demo, OpenAI Studio. Let's start. Three important steps needed to access Azure OpenAI Studio. First one is you need Azure subscription. To access the Azure cloud platform, you need an Azure subscription. If you don't have one, you can create a subscription for free and it's limited time. The second one is access to Azure Openai service. Once you have an Azure subscription, you need to apply for an Azure Openai access request. Based on your use case, your request will be approved within 10 days. Otherwise, you have to reapply again. So how to apply the Azure subscription? We'll go to the browser. Once you go to the Azure platform, if you find the Azure Openai service, here you can see the button called Apply Now. Once you click this button, the form get open. This is a request access form. You have to submit it. So your name and how many subscription you need. That subscription you have to select it. The fourth one is a subscription ID, not your email ID. This is a subscription ID. And here is your company related information. And the fourth one is if you are following under any one of the category like Microsoft MEP or Microsoft employee, system integrator or independent service provider. If you are one of the following category, you can select that option. Otherwise, you can choose the last one. Again, your company related information, what type of industry you are working on. These are the optional field. And the 21 is the important one. At the moment, Azure subscription is available 3 regions only: South Central US, West Europe and East Europe. So either one you can select it, or if you are applicable for all region, you can select this option. 22 is the important one. Which model you are going to use? Text and code model or DAL model you are going to use. If you want to use all the model, you can select the one, or based on your specific use case, you can select the model. So once you select the model, the sub question will be added. Like for example, if I select this text model, here you can see based on the selection, some more question will be added here. So if you are Microsoft MEP or regional director, you can use this option. So just demo use is clearly specified. And you can finally submit this form. Go back to our slide. Next up, we have to create OpenAI resource. This you can create once you get the approval to access the OpenAI service. Let us assume you can get the access rights. Then the third step, we have to create the OpenAI resource. For that, go to Azure portal, cognitive service. Azure OpenAI service is one of the cognitive service in the Azure portal. So you have to go to cognitive service and select Azure OpenAI option. Once you select the option, you can use this create button to create the new resource. Create subscription ID you have to select. Default with the Visual Studio Enterprise subscription and resource group. Region, at the moment, as I said earlier, 3 regions is available: East US, Central US, West Europe, and name of your resource group. The final one is important: pricing tier. The pricing tier is not like free like other cognitive service resource. This one, there is only one option you have to select, that is standard S0 tier 1. I have already created the resource. So go to use my resource here, this delete demo 1. Here my OpenAI related service information like a key endpoint, model deployment, pricing tier, all the information it's available. We'll go back to the slide. Azure Openai Studio is a cloud-based platform that provides a web-based interface for creating and running AI models using OpenAI GPT-3 language model. And mainly this OpenAI Studio has been created for easy to use. Even if you don't have a background in AI concept, you no need to worry about this one. You can just know the model name. That's it. You can easily build and deploy the model in Azure OpenAI Studio. And finally, the process of building deployment model in OpenAI Studio is easy. You can just focus on your task. You don't worry about the underlying infrastructure, how OpenAI has been handled and everything. It's completely taken care by the Azure service. Next, we'll move on to Azure OpenAI Studio and understand the interface. For that, go to Azure portal again. If you open your resource key, here you can see there is an option. Go to Azure OpenAI Studio. Click this menu. This is Azure OpenAI Studio. The first option in Azure OpenAI Studio for creating new deployment option. This option becomes available when no existing deployment is available. The second option provides user with the example of how to use OpenAI model. It includes some sample Python code. In addition, it provides information about the parameters used by the model and which model they used to build this sample. For example, here you can see the prompt. This is the input to the model. The right side sample response. This is a response from the model. And below you can see the API request. This code has been written in the Python language. And the right side, the settings. What are the parameters they used for this model to get the proper response from this model. And finally, the model information. Which model they used? They used text DaVinci 002. Like that, each model contains the sample code of the model information. The third option in Azure OpenAI Studio is for managing the playground related information. So here you can go with the playground to work with your samples. And the next one is a custom model. The custom model we'll talk about later. And here you can see the deployment option. And the fourth one is a file management. Again, it's related to the custom model. We go to the playground and we try some samples. For that, you can use this go to playground option. This is a playground. Here you can try the samples. To play with this one, first you have to create the new deployment. In the deployment, you can just specify which model you want to go to use. That model information available in the right side. Here you can see the models. If you click this one, it's list down all the Azure OpenAI supported models. This model used for the customized model. This we'll talk about later. I go to the deployment. I'm going to create the new deployment. Click this create new deployment. First you have to choose the model. Okay, which model you are going to use for this sample. I select this one. For example, if I want to use text DaVinci 003, I can select this model, and some suggestion also is coming. This model good for which purpose? So that information they provided, and DaVinci information about this model, some information. We have to provide the deployment name. So provide the deployment name is demo DaVinci 003. Create. Now the deployment is ready. You can use this option open in playground. Here you can see the deployment has been selected. Default only one deployment is available, so I select this one. And here some examples. So using this model, you can select some option. Let's say, for example, if I select the first option here you can see some option. I selected a summarized text, but it asked me to select this model is best fit for that. So I create the new deployment. Now I can try with one, generate. So summarized text, this text has been summarized in one line. So this is the output of the model. Like that, you can try your examples until it's fit for your requirement. Once it's ready, then you can start use of this model. And right side, you can see the parameters. There are different parameters available. Temperature, max length. This we'll talk about now. Go back to our slide. I have splitted screen like this so that the left side we can see the parameter information and right side we can execute the parameter immediately. So the first parameter is temperature parameter. Temperature parameter used to get the response from the model. You want to get the same response from the model, you have to set the temperature 0. You want to get the different response from the model, you have to set up to 1. So here you can see the temperature is 0, you can go with up to 1. Initially we'll set parameter 0, then we'll check what is your favorite food, generate. We get one response and I increase the temperature to max 1, regenerate the prompt again. So this time I'll get the my favorite food is pizza. Here you can see we get the different output. If I set 0, it always same output. Again same output. The next parameter is a max length. The max length parameter used to get how many character you want to get from the model to the output. Let's say for example, here if I set 50, then we always get the response from the model maximum 50 character. If you set 20, then maximum length from this model we get the only 20. Let's try this one. I go to take this some sample here, summarize text. Here big one. Now I changed this one to 1500 max length token. Generate. It's not up to maximum 1500, but it's more character. Now I changed to this one to, let's say for example 30. Regenerate. Here you can see this time completely reduced. The character is maximum 50. So this max length parameter used for to get the number of character from the model. The next parameter, stop sequence. The stop sequence setting the response stop the model from generating further text at a specified point. Such it's like a end of a sentence. For example, here you can see now I increased this model like 1500 back to here. So some line we get it, but now I specified stop sequence like dot, create dot. I did not change anything. Max length let it be 1500, but I set to the model stop sequence the dot. So when the first dot received, then it will stop and it will respond immediately. It won't further generate and it won't happen. So again regenerate. Here you can see immediately it stopped. It won't go further. Like that it will come. If I remove this one, here you always get the big response because we increased 1500. Here you can see it will go. So when to stop generating the text, you can provide the character here, stop sequence. The next parameter called TopP. This parameter control the model selection of token when generating the response. The range of this TopP is 0 to 1. Example, if you are using the language model to generate the response to a prompt, the model has generated the following 3 possible tokens along with the probabilities. Let's say for example, inside model, it will generate the response token A the ratio is 0.7, token B 0.6, token C 0.5. If you set the probability is 0.7, then the token A would be selected as a response. If you set the probability 0.6, then both token A and B has been selected. The generated response, either one has been chosen and response to the user. This is the top probability. The next parameter is frequency penalty. This parameter regulates the repetition of tokens. Like for example, if you set the low frequency penalty, the model responds your question like I like to eat pizza, it always responds like that. If you set the higher frequency penalty, then this model generate the response like I like to eat pizza. In addition, it will add another statement also. I enjoy try to new foods also, something like that. So the frequency, it's control the repetition. The next parameter is penalty. The penalty is strict form of frequency penalty that reduce the repetition of token already in the text and increase the chance of introducing the new topic. The previous one, frequency penalty, increase, try to add more like I like to eat pizza, I enjoy try to new foods. So here there is no new topic has been introduced. But if you use the penalty, it introduce the new topic also. Let's say for example, if you don't set the is low, then like there is no new topic. Like I like to eat pizza, something it will come. If you set the higher penalty, then it will introduce a new topic. For example, here you see I like to eat pizza plus I also enjoy going to the beach. So the pizza is a food is a one topic. Going to beach is a another topic, is a entertainment. So like that, the penalty it will add more new topic in the content to the response. Next, best of parameter. This settings range 0 to 20. It's generate multiple response and select one with highest combined probability of all the tokens to be displayed. This allows the model to choose the best response out of several generated options. Let's take one example. Here, what is your favorite food? With the best of setting, if you set 1, the model generate only one response. For example, my favorite food is pizza. If you set 3 or and above, the model may generate the 3 response and choose the one with the highest probability of all the tokens. For example, my favorite food is pizza. I enjoy different cuisine, something like that. So it will generate like this 3 or more response. In that one, it will take the best one. In this case, the model will choose the first response to the best response and is the highest overall probability of all the tokens. The next and last parameter is the pre and post response. The pre and post response text option allow to the addition of text before and after the model response. This can help to prepare the model for generating a response and provide the context of the response also. For example, if you did not provide any pre and post text, you ask in the prompt, what is your favorite food? Then the model always responds like my favorite food is pizza. If you set, I'm having craving of something delicious, can you suggest something? Like that, if you set in the pre-response text, the model will receive the following prompt. I am having craving for something delicious, can you suggest something? What is your favorite food? In this case, the model can generate a response that is more relevant to the context provided by the pre and post response text. For example, the model may generate a response like, how about trying some pizza? It's my favorite food. Let's see the pre and post response in the playground. I didn't add a pre-response text here. Say state question, what is your favorite food? We get my favorite food is pizza. Now I'm going to add the pre-response text here, the same which we seen in the slide. Regenerate the text again. Here we see getting different answer that depend on what kind of food you are in the mood for. Do you like Italian, Mexican, Chinese, Japanese, or something else? So the pre-response and post-response text, it change the complete context of the behavior. The top probability, frequency, and penalty best of this we'll talk about later with the custom model. Thanks to all.